Three brothers, one place to vent. Welcome to our parents' basement.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our Parents Basement podcast. I had to read it off the sign to make sure I said the right thing. We are a little bit short-staffed, as you can see.
Yeah.
Currently, Zach is in Antarctica rescuing penguins, and George is drunk. So,
Rest in peace, George.
yeah. No, not rest in peace.
Oh,
George.
no. Oh, yeah. Okay. Wait,
George.
breaking news. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. George is fine. Wherever George is. Okay, but so we went to the gun range.
Yes, we did.
You invited me to the gun range. It's been a while since I've been around any sort of weaponry and fired it. Not in like 13, 14 years or something like that. I am not a gun guy. I don't particularly like guns. That you 3D printed that. You 3D printed. That's not a gun.
Yes,
That's not a sword. It's a gourd.
It's the gun sword from Final Fantasy.
What's Final? Okay, I know what Final Fantasy is, but
Fun fact, this is made of wood. I printed it. It's made of wood.
you printed wood?
Smell it.
What am I smelling?
It smells like wood.
It smells like the rest of your house.
You smell like the rest of my house.
I've been everywhere. No, we went to the gun range.
We did.
And
I finally got you out. For everybody who doesn't know, I'm a gun guy. I like guns. Not for certain purposes, just because. Well, I explained it to you.
What do you mean not for certain purposes?
Well, people who go, I like guns, they think there's underlining tones that aren't really good for the world. That's not why I like them. I like to be educated by them. I'm also a person, thanks to George, one of our other co-hosts, that told me it's better to have one and don't need one than need one and not have one. Because sadly, we live in a world today where there's people who have them who shouldn't have them.
Yeah, but why not just collect oars? Just in case you're in a river.
What am I going to do? Somebody breaks in my house and you're like,
I'm
oh,
just-
cold! Poof!
No, what I'm saying is that argument could be like, why don't you just have a whole bunch of oars in case you're, trapped on top of your house when it floods, and then you could, get away in a boat.
I think that or like Minecraft.
No. No.
Or okay. So
I wish this world was more like Minecraft. We can get into that later. But guns.
next episode.
Yeah. By the way, what are we drinking on? We were going to start off like we usually do when we drink to kind of talk about the beer and whatever. But me and Brian are kind of tired because there's a lot of life things going on.
And Brian's.
I'm still like, it's not even jet lagged. It's car lagged, I guess, from moving back from California to Ohio.
I noticed that yesterday because, well, what's also weird is you were never a person to get up early
Mhm.
and you woke up.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, I'll be out. And you were out. I was surprised.
But that was only 3 or 4 hours of sleep.
Well, and you're also used to, being your own person in your own schedule. And then you stopped working for a little bit to take care of things to get here.
Yeah.
And, switched to a day schedule coming off of working 12 hours where you would be out DoorDash until 8 a.m.
Yeah.
in California. Then
Yeah.
you come here, time zone difference, and you stop doing that.
Yeah.
So it's just your time zones went like this all over your ass.
It's
and
been
it was
pretty
crazy.
interesting.
It has. I mean, I think you're adapting well.
But
You're happier.
yeah,
But yeah, so the beers.
if only for a minute.
all it
So
takes.
this is
That's all I want to take. I'm about a 5-minute guy.
no, the song.
Oh.
If only for a minute. It's a good song. We don't have the copyrights to that, so I'll stop singing it.
Adversary.
Yeah. By the way, I'll get into that a little bit later too, because I have some adversary news.
Okay. Yes.
So Urban Artifact, which we have over here, was it Cappy Snacks?
Cappy Snacks.
This is a beer I haven't tried yet. Out in California, there was no craft beer where I was. So I'm happy to be back in Ohio where I can continue my love for craft beer. It is a black raspberry
correct
beer.
sitting at 5%, 12 ounces fruit ale. Now, I'm a bad friend. I'm going to admit it. We weren't going to keep it on. I have actually already sipped this because my brain's not here. It tastes fantastic. What's weird is you go in expecting an ale. It's a wine. Dude, this is just a wine.
No, it's an ale.
But it tastes like a wine.
It's got a little bit of like a weediness on the end of it.
At the beginning, the taste tastes like cat piss, but then when you go back into it, you get the rest of
You
it.
know what this tastes like? It
Mm.
tastes like someone that's eating a cereal that's got to keep their heart healthy. So they throw a whole bunch of berries and shit into it. You know what I mean?
It's like fucking, what is
It's
it?
really good.
It's like
I love it, actually.
grain of wheat with fucking strawberries that are
Yeah.
dried.
Now, this is very close to the taste of Gadget, which was the fruit tart beer that we had from Urban Artifact.
Which,
this
if you
is-
check back on Shit and Giggle, we used to do those.
Yeah, this is really good. I love it.
Yeah. The boys would have not liked this.
You don't think so?
No, absolutely not. Well, listen, we're gonna. I'm happy it's just us right now. We can talk
Yeah.
openly and safe place, right? And we're gonna get them on board.
Yeah.
There's one out there.
Get one on board. What?
Get them both on board with IPA.
Oh yeah, no.
After getting the reading from the other podcast, the other episode we did,
Yeah,
there's one out there because they didn't turn it down 100%.
yeah.
They're like, this is okay. It's too much this, and we're like, okay.
I
there's
really
more.
think they'll like Sweetwater.
Yes.
Which Sweetwater now has a variety pack,
Really?
so I might have to get that the next time and split the beers up. But
Yeah.
anyway, we were at the gun range.
Yes. So I'm a gun guy, and we can start it off with why I like guns. Because you asked, you're like, what's the thing?
Yeah,
Because the best statement you said that day was, like, I know that guns sometimes give guys TMI, a little bit of heart on, right? Like, you get excited, you feel manly. You weren't getting that. And I was like, I said, it's not really that for me.
mm-hmm.
It's a sense of being in power. And then you went, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Which can be taken a few different ways. It's not like the best analogy I give. It's not like hitting a baseball. There's two people involved. I'm going to shut that off because ESPN keeps popping up. There's big ESPN news. It's not like a baseball, right? Where a baseball, someone's pitching to you, you've got to hit it. You're not fully in power. Like, there's many variables at play. Soccer, someone's kicking to you, you've got to do it. Football, you're catching the ball from somebody else. You know, I'm talking about other things that you do to release energy or do stuff like that. You know, there's two things I love. It's running and it's shooting guns. Can't run anymore.
Like a criminal? What are you talking about?
Cross country running.
Yeah. Like your Batman.
And guns. Because when I pull the trigger, it's my decision. I'm telling it where to go.
Uh-huh.
I'm telling it when to fire.
Right.
And so it's a release of stress and power. So if I'm having a bad day, it's great to set up a target out back. And I don't do it just, ha 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 ha.
Hmm.
It's sitting there and firing and they go, okay, I'm too short to the left and a little bit down. And then
But I
tweak
would.
it.
So you talked about. I hate to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
You talked about
You love it.
baseball and soccer. To me, it feels like you're leaning in the way of like maybe weapons for you is like a sport.
It is. So it's not all about just going out with guns, right?
Well, like Batista and WWE.
No, I'm talking like a fucking, no, that's this. But I'm not talking like, guys just go out.
Who's this?
It's not this. It's he does this.
It's Italian Batista.
Well,
Hey!
he's on a Gatling gun when he does that.
Yeah.
But it's not like that. It's not like I'm going
I mean,
out
he's
with-
not really. He's
No.
miming
Yes, my man.
that he is. Yeah.
But it's
And
it's
it's
not
already
like
made
I'm
and-
going out with a fully automatic rifle. It's more for me of, I'm sitting behind 100 yards and I have just built this weapon, right? Because like I told you, I just had a scope riser on mine, put a new scope on, and I've got to dial it in because I want to be right on target every time.
Right.
And so that's enjoyable for me because I built the gun, right? I took it apart, rebuilt it, put it together the way I wanted it. And now I got to make it go from here to 100 yards away and hit a dot that's this big so many times. It's enjoyable.
Mhm.
The bigger excitement for me, honestly, because once I go to the gun range we went to and I get excited in, I go out to where it's 1,000 yards to a mile.
Mm-hmm.
That's way more enjoyable to me because you really only go out there and you take 50 rounds with you and that's it.
Right.
And it's 100 yards, 200 yards, 350 yards, 450 yards, 500 yards, all the way up to 1,000. And you've got to adjust. And you don't edit your scope every time. You adjust for wind. You adjust the angle. You don't adjust your scope. You're like, okay, it's curving down. So if I aim my scope up 3 notches, it'll arc the curve. You've got to take all that information and you put it all in there. And that's enjoyable because it's like, okay, if I want to hit that target that's the size of a sheet of paper from here, I've got to take all the calculations into it. When you're hitting past 350 yards, everything counts. Wind, rain, humidity, everything. And it's fun. What? What are you laughing at me about?
This was not that thought out when we were there.
But it's 100 yards, so you don't need to. The velocity of a bullet at 100 yards, the calibers I shoot, none of that matters.
22s.
No, 350 Legend.
You shot 22s.
The 22s, do you not even know they didn't even make it to the target?
Yeah,
No, the 22 is meant for 50 to 75 yards.
But I liked how when I was shooting one over and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I've shot guns before. I'm aiming at the target and it's not hitting it. But then you would get on the gun and go, oh, the scope needs to be adjusted. You would adjust it and all of a sudden you're hitting these targets. And I'm like, well, fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I had sighted it in, but I need a range reader so the way I sight in, it's hilarious upstairs. So I've got about half acre yard. I will sit on the couch by the front door with my legs propped up.
I'm loving this beer.
I love the beer. With the back door open, the laser pointed at the tree right past the shed, and I'll scope it in from there. So I'm just planted on the ground with my feet on the couch with my gun laying ground, fucking, what's that position called? You're flat on the ground, tripods up, and you're on the ground. There's a position for that in the military.
Laying position?
No, there's a term.
He's got Google. Oh, sorry,
Sniper
Safari.
Position
No, he's got Google at his fingertips, and he's going
prone. When you're prone position on the ground, and that's what I look like in my living room.
By the way, anybody that's military, please reach out to us and let us know how correct or incorrect that.
Yeah, see, look,
Brian is being
lying prone position. That's what I look like in my living room.
Actually, no. If I can get back to that, I would really like to hear some feedback from any of our viewers or listeners about what you just said. Is seeing if you're right or wrong about that, and if you're wrong, to comment on it, and then we can address them on the podcast.
What am I wrong about? What? The prone?
Prone.
Okay.
Anything that you say.
Come at me.
Anything that you say. Also, all you liberal guys out there too, if you have anything to say about guns as well, please send in. I think that'd be great content.
We love controversy. Did I ever tell you about the sports podcast where we talked about football and everybody berated Zach?
Why would people berate Zach?
All they told him was, you don't know ball, you don't know shit, stupid ass. That's literally what a guy messaged us. Conveniently.
Oh, the one viewer that you had?
No, there was like 15 comments on the video, but then 10 minutes later, he deleted his post. Pussy.
Yeah. Because he probably thought about it and was just like, that was unnerving. I shouldn't have been like that.
That's fine.
It's like those people that, think they're experts at everything because they play the game.
Right.
Or, they watch wrestling.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt doesn't watch
But no, when you, I don't. But when it came to the gun range, whatever, we had your dad there.
Yes.
Which was awesome.
Yeah. My dad's.
I've met your dad before.
He's been on here.
But never, and he's been on here, but I've never hung out with him.
Yeah.
And so it was to go back and forth, and he's a really funny guy. And especially with everything that you guys got going on in your lives. I mean, I know it's very easy for guys to just be like, hey, it's kind of like Jim Carrey talking about, this is the character I'm playing. We're having our own various personalities come out. Like, this is the face I'm going to show everybody today. It was a great hang.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
It was a side tangent. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're cool.
The Jim Carrey thing. He's here.
Jim Carrey in the spirit.
No, Big Mamba.
No, you ever seen the Ace Ventura?
Yeah. Okay, so I threw it in the cave.
All righty then. Right. What were we talking about?
So we were talking about the gun range of my dad.
Yeah. So continue with that.
Yeah. No, it's fun. Oh, the Jim Carrey thing.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Lately, I really think that's true.
About what?
So depression,
Uh-huh.
it's deep rest of the character you've been in. That's what depression really is.
Mhm.
Because you play these characters, everybody's got different characters. I've got the hero character, I've got the depressed character, I've got the big brother character, and I've got the best friend character, and 1,000 others. When one gets tired,
Mhm.
you slightly get depressed,
Mhm.
but it's that character going into deep rest.
Hmm.
Once he said that, I was like, "Holy shit!" That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because it's all I'm only depressed.
Jim Carrey not a psychologist or anything like that,
No.
but you could definitely relate to what he's
Well,
saying.
and he's played so many characters, and it makes a lot of sense. Because like when I get depressed, it's usually after I've been one type of person. So like when I was going over to my parents' house and being super son and just doing everything, I just got so worn out and like I was in the dumps and everything, and I was like, "Holy shit, that character's fucking tired of shit. He needs a break." And so I stopped going over there for a little bit and took my break, and then I was like, "All right, I feel better now."
Mhm.
And it's weird because I'll relate to that. Have you ever had thoughts like that? Like,
I
holy
mean, all
shit,
the
that makes a
time.
lot of sense.
But I mean, to me, I think it's more of a more related to now that the term is kind of readily available, imposter syndrome. So a lot of people may have heard that and don't understand what that is.
Yeah.
So, um, you work really hard, you do things to take care of your family, whatever, and there might be certain things that you're really good at or you're really excited about, but there's a part of you that feels like you're faking everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what imposter syndrome is.
Mhm.
So
Well, you're
it's
faking it till you make it.
no, it's the feeling of like everybody's gonna find out that I'm fake, that I'm not really a good guy, that I'm actually this or that. And you know me, I always tell you, I don't deserve the friends or family that I do, and you say I do, but I don't feel like I do.
I think then yes, you have very big imposter syndrome. I mean, because we've now known each other almost 6 years at this point,
Yeah.
and about as long as I've been with Hannah. And you are a very good person, but your problem is you don't think of you.
Mhm.
You always think of everybody else. You never
true.
give Kurt time. I try now a lot harder than before. I give Brian time, but I'm always still, "What do you need? Got you. What do you need?"
Right.
But and because no for me is very hard. It's very hard for me to tell people
Yeah,
no.
I know.
But that's just because when everybody else is happy, I'm happy.
Mhm.
And when I'm surrounded by people who are not doing well or not
Mhm.
having a good time, it brings me down.
That's a good point to make because you're at work, nobody's having a good day. You're not having a good day.
That's
No
why
one wants
work's
to
been
be here.
terrible.
I don't want to be here.
That's why work's been terrible because everybody's upset and everybody's having a bad time. And it's because work, like around when you came, it was at the beginning getting bad, but it was still a good time. We were all joking with each other. We'd all like, "Hey, let's all hang out after work." And we'd have everybody over. No one does that anymore. Everybody's miserable. Everybody wants to get in and get out. No one talks
Yeah.
to each other. It's terrible.
No.
And it makes just such a terrible environment. But no, I feel that all the time.
But see, and this is going to probably sound insane. I'd rather work every single day. And I know that sounds insane, but the moment I have time away from anything, and I tested this with me and my wife, I don't feel this way towards her and my kids. But when it comes to music, when it comes to even certain guitars I have or a job, if I'm away from it for a little bit, I don't want to be around it or touch it again.
So
And
work with me, that's it. When I take
yeah,
a break, I'm like, I don't want to be back here.
yeah,
When I went to Disney, we were there for a week.
yeah.
I came back and I'm like, nope.
But but the thing is that the difference was that you had solid family members you wanted to be around.
Yes. Yeah, I had oh, Jesus Christ. Nice throw in there. That was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had our ups and downs while we were on the vacation. It wasn't all butterflies and rainbows, but it was well,
All butterflies and rainbows.
yeah, nice things. I could have said beers and guns, but that just sounds bad.
Oh, nice things.
It's not all ammunition, video games, and
As you were. Sir.
alcohol, but no, yeah, my dad is installed in me, which is like come back full circle.
Is this like a tech joke? Your dad installed something in you?
Well, I've seen my father cry 4 times
Mm-hmm.
in the 30 years I've been alive.
Right.
One was when he fucked up. What you don't got to talk about. He owned up to it and he cried because he felt bad.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was when my great grandfather died, and the other one, great grandfather died when my child was born, and when my mom got diagnosed. The next time I'll see him cry is when my mom dies.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a reason. He told me, he goes, I don't got time to cry.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer in that. I don't got time to cry right now.
Yeah.
I don't got time to show that I'm down or I'm emotional. I'll have time when it's time.
Right.
And so, like with my mom, for example, which he kind of runs off the same thing, like you said, he's with everything going on. Once she dies, we'll have time to cry.
Right.
Right now, we got too much to do. I got to take care of her. I got to take care of everybody. Got to make sure my house is good, my family's good. I'll have time to cry later.
Yeah.
It's harder, but if I'm crying all the time and I'm down, I'm not being productive.
Yeah.
What's the point? Waste of time.
I feel that.
It's tough and it sounds terrible and it's probably not good for you, but gets the job done. You keep hearing things. What are you hearing?
Breaking news.
Oh, fucking shit.
All right.
Pull that out of the sound
Wow,
files.
that's great, right?
You got me on that one. That was good.
So, I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute. This was actually something that happened fairly recently, March 9th, which was my wife's birthday. Fender Music Instruments has secured a significant legal victory following a ruling by the regional courts of Dusseldorf that establishes
That is not a real name.
It's in Germany.
Dusseldorf.
Dusseldorf.
Does Doug Dimmadome own that?
Yeah, Dimmadome.
Doug Dimmadome.
Yep. Established broad legal protections for Fender's iconic Stratocaster guitar body design under German and European copyright law.
So what does that do?
So it reinforces the ability to protect its design in a global commerce. So before, if you had like Japan, Indonesia, China, Korea, let's just say back in the 60s and 70s, it was harder for them to ship gear overseas, right?
Okay.
So a lot of companies, say in New York or whatever, were able to acquire maybe Marshall amps because England is closer to New York than California,
Okay.
right? Whereas in California, you had Fender amplifiers, you had all these different, amplifiers that came out and whatever, and then spread across the United States. So that also meant like guitars. So it's like, hey, in Japan, we can't get Fender. They probably couldn't get Fender guitars there or Gibson guitars. Maybe they could, but they decided to start manufacturing copies of those guitars. Some of those copies got into the hands of other people in the United States. Eventually, Fender sues these companies so that they stop making them. Well, Fender has been in a constant legal battle with overseas manufacturers to not make copies of their instruments, right? And this Fender lawsuit basically says their Stratocaster design was subject to copyright law overseas, which could mean that it's potentially could mean that any company that makes a copy of a Stratocaster body shape could potentially stop having to.
Really?
Or license the use of that shape.
And that's your average,
Yeah.
you're looking at it, I can't describe it to save my life. It's this design, right? You get the wide body on the bottom, small, and then the big loop on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I used to have a Fender Stratocaster. I know the body style you're talking about.
So key companies that use the Strat shape, G&L Instruments, which was a Leo Fender design before leaving Fender, PRS Guitars, Ibanez, Schecter, Sir, Yamaha. There's too many to name,
Okay.
right? If you were to go on Amazon and get a starter pack, right, almost every one of those guitars is going to be a Strat shape. For the longest time, what it was is that you couldn't copy the headstock shape.
Just the headstock.
The headstock was trademarked for those companies, and then the body shapes, they said, were functional shapes or generic shapes, so you couldn't copyright them, right? So, like, for example, you can't copyright the star.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Okay,
like
the
the
star.
star
Yeah.
shape that you make.
Yeah.
You can't copyright that. You could probably make it a little bit differently, right? But you cannot copy that. It's a generic shape. Or
So you
like,
can't copyright the circle.
yeah. Or
Yeah.
like, certain things, obviously, after their copyright expires, you can use it like how they did Winnie the Pooh,
Okay.
right? But what Disney did, right, was that they extended those copyright laws, which was really only unique to Disney. Now,
Have you seen that a
Fender,
lot of those went through and
yeah,
don't exist anymore?
but now Fender is doing that. But some of my favorite guitars of all time were the Strat shape. George Lynch of Dokken, he's got a guitar that's shaped like, that body style. There's a lot of Fender guitars out right now. The Nick Johnston Schecter guitars. Because I'm a musician, I know of these guitars and I go, wow, this is something that could very well wreck a lot of companies because they could license the shape, but how much is that going to cost them?
Right.
There are people though that are concerned about certain companies like Warmoth, which is a parts company. You can order a Strat shaped body and the neck, put the guitar together yourself. But those shapes are actually licensed Fender shapes. They already have the licensing. I talked to somebody that worked for Warmoth a while ago, and I asked him about a star-shaped guitar, their star body, and why I couldn't get it the shape that I wanted, and they said because if we did, we'd have to get a license from Fender because they own that shape. So, that was the news as far as Fender and that copyright law goes. Do you have one? Because I do have another one pulled up. Ready for the next thing? This has to do with Metallica.
Well, bring up while we're talking in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Editor, welcome back. Adversary. What's the adversary news? We're in the music.
I'll get to that after that.
Oh, is it a big story?
No, it's not a big story.
Oh, okay.
It's not big. To my 4 or 5 listeners on Spotify, thank you very
It
much.
may be big to some people. It's okay.
So,
Yes.
Metallica.
Yes.
So, I don't know if you heard, Las Vegas now has this sphere.
Yeah, the big sphere.
I've driven by it. It's incredible. It's huge. It's as big as the Luxor.
What was on the outside of it when you passed? Well, they change it all the time.
They change it all the time. I think it was made an advertisement for Wicked, or not Wicked, but Wizard of Oz, because they have that there now. But it's also a great place to do concerts.
Oh, dude, the visual effects that they've put on some of these concerts.
I mean, a band like U2 would probably have a tremendous show there, even though I can't stand them. So, the band Metallica. So, the Metallica's Life Burns Faster 2026 residency at the Sphere. And it's going to be like 20 plus days or whatever, where they're going to be doing all these shows and having it in the Sphere.
Okay.
The problem is scalpers. So internet people like going on Ticketmaster and buying up all the tickets. A single concert ticket started around $700 and a 2-night package beginning around $900. Though third-party prices can exceed $3,000 for premium spots.
Jesus.
And when I went to see, I think it was Emperor in Chicago, there were people buying tickets and reselling them, but there were still tickets available, like that were just general admission for like $80. But people were like, "Oh no, if you really want to go see Emperor, you're going to pay $200 or $300." Like, and unfortunately, what people don't understand, is that you could just basically say that, reach out to Ticketmaster, even sue them if you wanted to. I'm sure you could. I don't know why no one is not like has a class action lawsuit and successful with it against people that are doing this, because then it's like, oh, my favorite concert, Sonic Temple, or Incarceration Fest. There's places in Ohio that we would love to go to these festival dates, but luckily a lot of those tickets are locked in for, like, you can go to the website and buy them.
Right.
But for tickets like these, where everybody's online going to Ticketmaster or StubHub, people are buying.
One, it's just so easy. Some person can go get a $10,000 credit card, buy 8 tickets, and be like, "Well, I'll just sell them, make all my money back, and then some."
Right.
And it's just extremely annoying.
So Metallica actually put out a statement on their social medias. They said, at this point in time, we will not be adding additional shows. We are working with our partners to improve this experience and offer some remedies for the next time around. Talking about, people buying the tickets and
Scalpers,
raising.
yeah.
But it's absolutely nuts. Like, seeing Metallica at that Sphere show would be worth the money to go see them. But it's kind of like, when you go to a WWE event, I don't want to spend $40,000, to sit front row to see those wrestlers, even though that would be a great experience. I think it's also because I don't have the greatest memory in the world, and it would be terrible just to go there and go, oh fuck, I just forgot what happened.
Yeah.
That would be the worst $40,000 ever.
And I think it was, I forget who it was exactly. I think it was like Harry Styles or somebody came out and said something. He's like, it sucks that nowadays we have to sell tickets for that price, because the reason they sell them so high now is to steer the scalpers clear.
Right.
Because back when you could go see a concert for $100, all the tickets are gone by day 2.
Yeah.
But now they have to up the prices, and it's not like anything's changed.
Yeah. I'm such an old man now, though. There was the last couple of shows I went to were seated, and I sat down. And that was Death Clock.
You sat down?
I was up in the balcony on a bench sitting down. I could see everything. I did not need to get up. But my rickety body now, I don't. But also when I saw Cannibal Corpse, I stood for that. But, Amon Amarth also that we're playing, they do something where they have everybody sit down and they row like they're on a Viking ship.
Oh,
and
shit.
it's the coolest shit ever.
I love that.
But that's it for as far as that music news. When it comes to my project Adversary, now that I'm back in Ohio and I kind of have a little bit more time on my hands, even if I get this job that I'm hoping to get, I am working on 3 separate EPs. There are going to be 3 separate genres of music. Something that's going to be traditional heavy metal, one that's going to be modern metal, and the other one that's going to be blackened death metal, Viking metal, stuff with screaming in it. So after I'm done with that, that will wrap up that project for me. And then I will just be featuring on other people's music. Kind of like how I did with Hermaeus Mora. I released an album with my buddy Mikey, who does the music for Deathlatron. We came together and recorded some of our old songs from our old previous band. That's out now, including a lyric video I made for it. If anybody wants to check it out, it's on the Deathlatron Spotify page. But I will be working and hopefully releasing all 3 EPs by the end of the year, which is my goal. And I'm only self-producing this. I'm not reaching out to anybody to have help. I'm not featuring anybody. I'm recording and mastering it all myself and then releasing it online. My goal, hopefully next year, will be to reach out to a couple of companies and do vinyl.
Ooh.
Maybe a couple of cassettes and CDs, just so I could have that, and then I will be sending it to various people. And who knows, if it gets enough traction, I might pick out random people that listen to my music and send them a record. So that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But as far as that's...
We'll get a platinum one and put it in here.
Yeah. I also like the splatter vinyls and stuff like that. So
I like to... I love what people are doing with vinyls now. I think it's Youngblood. He had a vinyl that it looked like blood in it. So when it would spin, it would like go all over.
Oh, that's great.
It was cool. It's like a lava lamp style. It's the innovation that people are doing with those now are really, really cool. And the fact they're keeping them around, because it's a select few, but it's still good to have. It's cool.
Right.
You can value it more than a digital piece of content.
Right.
It's you take care of it and keep it around, and someday it won't run anymore. It's valued, my opinion. Can't get that anymore.
I want to talk about video games for a second.
Okay.
And how this has irritated me for a very long time. Why are you making that face?
I feel like I know where you're going, and I'm going to be very excited that we're on the same page.
So when the Xbox first came out, right?
360?
No, the first Xbox,
Oh,
right?
Xbox.
So I had Spider-Man and Shrek,
Oh,
Jet Set Radio Future,
Shrek.
which was my favorite, still is my favorite, one of my favorite video games of all time. The Star Wars games, different things like that. I had on Xbox, including Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 3 or 4.
It would have
think it
been
was
3.
3.
Yeah.
With Wolverine and Kelly Slater and Vampira and all those. It was so much fun, but I did not have to be connected online to play those games. And I also did not have to download the whole game into the Xbox. And so now it's at the point to where I hate video games. I would rather have a computer than
I
a game
disagree
system.
with you so heavily on this.
But why?
Multiple reasons.
May I finish my
Yes, please.
a little bit
but
of
this is not where I thought you were going to go. And I'm
so
surprised.
I would rather have a console that has a disc that I could put into it, and then eventually, I can build up. I like building up collections,
You can still
would
do
like-
that.
but it's not in the same capacity. I want to update. I don't want to download extra characters. I don't want to do all that stuff like that, because what if something happens to that Xbox and you have to get a new one?
on the
It's
cloud.
up in the cloud. It's just, to me, it's dumb. I like the physical. To me, I don't like it at
Yeah,
all.
but see, that's you though, because you're the way with vinyls and you like your CDs and your
Okay.
cassettes.
Yeah.
So the
So what if you don't have internet?
But that not all games are like that.
Yeah,
So like,
but it's eventually going to all be like that.
no. So for example,
Yes, it's all going to be like
it
that.
depends on the type of game.
I also don't like the fact that game systems are coming out. Like, it used to be that, it's 10 years and now here's the newest game system.
Well, it's
Now it's becoming the iPhone.
technology
there's a
is
new-
developing fast. That's the thing. So
It's-
back in
it's
the
dumb.
day when we had flip phones,
Mhm,
the Motorola Razor.
mhm.
So the phone I always go to, that was like, whoa, you own a Razor or as a BlackBerry? Those are the two like, oh, fucking top tier phones, right?
Right.
You would just get Razor 2. What's the difference? It's a little faster. Or now you can fast speed text or stuff
Right.
like that. There was no updates, but it would be like 3-4 years till you got a new phone. But now iPhone comes out every September. Every September there's a new iPhone.
Right.
I mean, hell, I'm waiting on mine. I'm on a 16. I'm going to 18 when it comes out in
Right.
September. It's because technology is building fast. But on that topic of new consoles, the one thing I do love that they're finally doing, they're putting away the bullshit of PlayStation versus Xbox. Xbox is now dead. Don't know if you knew this.
Xbox is not dead.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
The new Xbox will not be an Xbox by Microsoft.
It'll be a console, won't it?
Nope.
It'll be a rather.
So they killed Xbox.
Did not kill Xbox.
It's now called Helix. The purpose of Helix, I don't know which way it went. I think it's called Project Helix by Microsoft. If you look it up, you may be able to. You struggling? Tap it, tap it, tap it. You okay? You got it, Grandpa? Okay. You got it? No?
Fuck off.
You got it? You got it?
Mhm.
Project Helix. I'm going to try to help you find it here. It's by, is it called Helix?
Building the next generation of Xbox.
So the benefit to it is now Helix is going to be PC and Xbox. I don't know which way it happened. If Microsoft bought Steam or if they're just partnering. But if you've noticed over the past few years, Microsoft has come out with the Microsoft Asus with Xbox.
I'll have another
Meta,
beer.
huh?
I'll have another beer.
Yeah. Meta came out with the MetaQuest Xbox. And so it could run Xbox games. And for a long time, you've noticed that like certain smart TVs, you can do Xbox cloud gaming.
Right.
And stuff like that. What they're doing, how the fuck do you get these off? There we go.
There you go.
Is they're finding out that a lot of people like PC for multiple reasons. You can do modding on PC. You have a little more leeway. So like how you can't run Xbox one game is on an Xbox 360, but I can run whatever the fuck I want on my PC. Eventually, I'll have to get a new graphics card, but it takes 5 years. Project Helix, the point is, it's going to have the capability to run high.
So Steam is owned
games.
and operated by Valve Corporation, and they're a private company. But go
Okay,
ahead.
so then they partnered is probably what
Yeah.
happened. So we're going to be able to do, like it says here, has revealed March 2026, this month, a hybrid system that'll run both console and PC games. This aims to bridge the gap between traditional consoles and PC gaming and supporting fronts like Steam and Epic stores. The purpose is consoles are about to become a thing of the past.
Mm.
Everybody's getting into PCs because on average now, every house owns at least one computer,
Mhm.
whether it's your phone, a laptop, or anything, because phones are basically computers now, let's be honest. I mean, I can run Fortnite on my phone. When the
Right.
fuck were you able to run that high grade of a processing
That's
needed game?
Yeah.
And they're trying to steer clear. What's sad is PlayStation, in my opinion, is going to be left in the past. PlayStation marks up their console so high and isn't wanting to conform to this. They also don't have as much of capabilities. The best thing that PlayStation did is they allowed Discord, but they were also 3 years behind when Xbox allowed a Discord. They were like, yeah, Discord's a great platform to chat on, and you can't cross-plat with Xbox over PC unless you have the Xbox app, and that sucks. But if I'm playing Farm Market Simulator on Steam, how am I going to get a hold of you when you're on Xbox? Discord. So Xbox and Microsoft has been very open in wanting to do that. And with this, we're going to have everything. Be able to play PC games. You're basically going to have a PC and a console without having all the other mumbo jumbo. Because a lot of people don't care for the internet and web browsing and blah, 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 blah. They just want a console for their
Mhm.
kids and whatnot. That's what that's going to be nice for. Now, on to your topic of hard games versus internet games. The one thing I hate about solid games, we've all had it, the scratch. You put it in wrong,
Mhm.
your console,
Put it in wrong.
you just put it in a little sideways or something, and you're
No.
not gentle with it. A kid shoves a disc in there,
Yeah, a kid,
or
not an adult.
something falls on the top of it and it jostles the CD while it's running. It can be scratched. Once it's scratched, it's gone.
Mhm.
Granted, you may have saved gameplay, but now you've got to go buy another disc.
Right.
What if they don't make that game anymore?
Mhm.
Like original Spyro from the PS1, I had it scratched. I could not find it
Right.
until I went to a side game store that had one used, and hopefully it works and it's in the discount bin, so it may not. But with hard downloaded games, yes, it's annoying, it's in the cloud, but the benefit is, say you have to get a new console. I just got that console upstairs. I uploaded my Xbox that I had bought 5 years ago. Every game I had on there was
But see, my feelings are towards the consoles and where they're going, not PC. I would rather do PC now.
well, yes. So, but that's the thing is,
know.
a lot of people who were console lovers are transferring over because consoles were just becoming, okay, you want to download Doom Slayer? It's going to take 6 hours and it's going to take up half of the space on your console. Good luck. Then
Yeah.
that's all you can have. But now, the benefits of what they're trying to do is they're going to leave it more open to clouds. So if you have Xbox Game Pass,
Mhm.
you don't have to put it on there.
Mhm.
You can have it floating and use a server to play your game and do it that way. But on the contrary, you said, what if you don't have internet? Some games, like our game, trading game Market Simulator.
Yeah.
You don't need to be on the internet to play that game.
Right.
That's the benefit. So if I'm out and about and say I'm in a car, because nowadays you can plug HDMI into a car screen and play it. I can technically play it without internet.
Mhm.
I can have it on my phone with the internet off, play the game. Games like Fortnite or other things, multiplayer games, yeah, you're going to need internet. But if it's story-based storyline, and
Mhm.
say Spectrum goes out, I can get on and play Doomslayer, the whole game,
Mhm.
without internet. So, and that's probably me personally. I don't play a lot of internet needed games.
Like I just got into Call of Duty last year, really in depth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a storyline game player, so I used to be able to be without internet and play Halo 4
Right.
through the whole thing, and I don't need internet. I don't need any of that.
That's true.
And so I never really had that problem, but a lot of people do get upset because they're like, well, if I don't have internet, well, sadly, in today's day and age, most everybody needs internet to play video games, which sucks,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the technology future that we're leading into. But I mean, that's why a lot of companies like Spectrum, they're about to come out with a, because they don't really tie into hard lines. Spectrum technically is its own modem that pulls from towers. They're coming out with a battery backup router that when your power goes off, it's got 8 hours of battery life and will give you service.
That's fantastic.
And that's nice for not just for like gameplay, but I've now got Wi-Fi. If I need to do stuff or whatever work, I can still work on the battery life that's been provided
Mm-hmm.
that I have left. But that's why a lot of people are moving towards dealing with situations like that. But I don't know. I do miss going through the bin at GameStop, the $5 bin, and going,
Mhm. Right.
what can I play today? But on the contrary, it's nice to not have a disco out on me that I'm like, I'm never going to find this game again.
Yeah.
But I miss the collection. I
Yeah.
had a shelf. I had all my, see-through green boxes of CDs where I'd collect my Xbox games. It was fun, but, I mean, I don't buy games new really anymore. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Whew.
But I mean, I don't think I bought a new game ever.
I bought Doom Eternal new. Oh, no. Doom the Dark Ages.
I always waited for it to get discounted. Or like you would go to Walmart and see platinum hits.
Yeah.
You know,
For me, the only games I buy brand new are ones that I love the franchise so much.
or like if it's like special edition and it comes with all the stuff.
Yeah.
Then it's like, to me, that's worth it. It's kind of like records now. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people stream music. I will go to the record store and get the box set
Oh, yeah.
because it comes with the album, it comes with the booklet, it comes with, all the things, and usually a digital copy of that album.
I did something.
great.
It was dumb. So,
Oh, you did something dumb?
oh yeah. So Doom Slayer is one of my favorite games next to Halo. I
Mm.
love Doom. My mom used to play Doom. That was her favorite game back on Nintendo 64. No. Sega Genesis? Old 8-bit fucking Doom.
Never played it.
No.
So.
But the new Doom that just came out, Dark Ages,
Mm-hmm.
they announced early will be released this date, free, Game Pass, for free. And it was like, wow. Or you could buy it 3 days earlier on release for $69
Mm-hmm.
base game, but for $100 platinum edition, all the DLCs, 4 brand new skins right off the rip, the soundtrack, which I don't know if you ever listened to the soundtrack of Doom. It's just heavy metal and it's just like da-da-da-da. It's great for fucking gym or whatever. I was like, I'm gonna buy the new one, but I don't know if it was an accident or something happened. I got on Steam 3 days prior, the day where they were gonna announce this is the early release date, and somehow instead of it being $99, it was $39 for the platinum release edition with all the DLCs. And I'm like, this can't be right. So I refresh. Same thing. I hopped on that bitch. I bought it instantly. Within 4 hours later, Jazz wanted it. Went on to buy it, $99. I don't know what happened. I got it for a really great deal. But Hannah was like, why didn't you just wait the 3 days? And I'm like, well, I want to play it now. And I beat it before it came out. I beat it in 3 days. I love the franchise. So I only really do it for big games like that, really. But yeah.
Interesting. It's a good episode.
Yeah, it was a great episode. It's a good one. So thank you all for listening.
Yeah.
Watching.
Appreciate it.
Check us out on all of our platforms.
Do it, bud.
Spotify, YouTube,
There
TikTok,
as well.
Facebook.
Also,
Yes. Check us out. Thanks y'all for listening.
cheers.